Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to WSTX AM 970 Reflections. Yeah. With Doug Canton, yep, you know, the sometimes silly, sometimes serious guy. Hey, you can't be all things all the time to all people, so hey, you gotta be something to yourself sometime, right? Yeah. Welcome to another Reflections Thursday. Yep, all you Friday worshipers, rest assured, hey, Friday is gonna be good because it starts with Thursday. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and that ain't here for us to have that discussion about the Friday move versus the Thursday, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, good thing. So, I hope you've had a wonderful week thus far and looking forward to it getting even better because that's the way it works, folks. Okay? Very often, how you look at things have a lot to do with how they turn out. So if you stay in a negative boat, well, you're going to end up probably on negative island or negative content. Or it's a continent. Yeah. We got to think different if we want something different to happen, right? Okay. So we think different. Yeah. All right, y'all. So 340-773-0390, 340-773-0490. Those are the numbers to the station if there's something that you want to talk about. But right about now, I really want to get into some of what's going on around St. Croix, folks. It's a lot of stuff going on, and I want to make sure that when the talk gets hot and heavy, that we don't run out of time. Yeah, we got to make sure we get it all in, at least 99%. What do you think? Okay. Anyhow, been around the block a couple of times getting the info on what's going on St. Croix, and who gave me what they give me is what I got, and the rest, well, it's out there. I just hope that we're going to see a more proactive view to some of these things because, hey, you get tired of getting tired about hearing things the day after you're done. Okay, which, by the way, did you go and see a song for Coretta at Caribbean Community Theater? It was a wonderful performance. Okay, yeah, Doug. Every performance is a wonderful performance at Caribbean Community Theaters. Well, hey, speaks to the quality of the stuff that goes on there. That's all I can say about that. But every one of them, as they come, I'm going to give them their props. It was a wonderful performance. Yeah, it thought-provoking. Yeah, among other things. Some laughs here and there. Yeah. All good. So if you saw it, fine. If not, when you hear about these things coming up at Caribbean Community Theater, you might want to say, well, hey, I'm going to do something different this weekend and have a different, or adds a little spice to my weekend entertainment. All right. Well, yeah. Anyhow, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. What's up with my throat here? Okay. Get it together, Doug. All right. The St. Croix Environmental Association. St. Croix Environmental Association. Folks, you know who they are and what they do. They do a lot of very interesting things in the community. And definitely you live here, visiting here, the environment is important to you. Then it's one of those things where I think it behooves you to at least know what they are up to and what they're supporting and how you can make the difference. This Friday, May 3rd, venture with them as they check out the St. Croix Environmental Association Bat Tower from 4 to 5 p.m. No, you say, well, okay, Bat Tower. You know, is that where they have like all of these Major League honorary bats in recognition of great performances? No, 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 no. We're talking the animal bats. Okay? Bats that people think of in terms of chasing and getting rid of and so forth and so on, but people need to know that a lot of them mosquitoes that ain't biting you because the bats ate them. Okay? A lot of other things that might be harassing you, the bats does contribute to making life better. So we got to understand how things are interwoven in such a way that we can give them their space and in a way that they can give us our space, right? So join the St. Croix Environmental Association and learn all about one of the coolest critters and the only mammal native to St. Croix. Think about that. Yeah? This event is $10 per person for non-members and free for St. Croix Environmental Association members and children. So, hey, the perks of being a member of St. Croix Environmental Association, when they do things like this, hey, you get to go for free. All right, so anyhow, it's your last chance to get batty with them, okay, until October. Yeah, because they give the bats some space from May to October while they're raising their babies, so don't miss out on seeing the colony this season. Now, folks, registration is required, and, you know, the spots will fill up quickly. There's still space, they say, but who knows, by today, the second, all right, and this is on the 3rd, so who knows, they might have some space. You can always get in touch with them. All right. Now, the way they have it set up, their contact is via email. So you will need to email O Walton, that's O, letter O, WALTON, at stcroixenvironmental.org. All right. All right. Good thing. So get in touch because this Friday, May 3rd, they're going to be visiting the Bat Tower. All right. Good thing. Who knows? Batman might even show up for the event. You never know, right? Okay. Think positive, right? Now, I've been seeing this pop up a while here, and I just wanted to talk about it because there's a short film contest, and they're going to be a festival called Equity Is Us Film Festival on August 10th, okay, on St. Croix, and August 24th on St. Thomas, St. John. Now, they say submission is May 15th through July 15th. So they'll be taking your submissions between May 15th and July 15th. All right. They have certain genres that they're encouraging you to stick to, and that's comedy, drama, documentary, and the film length is 3 to 5 minutes with credits. All right. So if you interview 50 people, you just know your credits done gone already just by your movie is going to be nothing but credits. But seriously, folks, there's a reason for this. One is this drives creativity. You have to be very creative to figure out how you're going to do a film for 3 to 5 minutes that's going to tell a story, tell a joke, document something, and then give credit to those people who helped to make it happen. And we have talent abounding here in this island. So make sure you get the word out, okay? Now, the topics that this is focused on is drug use, right? Marijuana, alcohol, tobacco, funta, opioids, teen pregnancy, HIV/AIDS, emotions, and mental health. So you can touch on any one of those areas in comedy, drama, documentary style. Hey, your choice. The film must include at least one prevention strategy to address the particular issue that you choose. Yes, that must be featured in your film. Now, they have two entry categories, one ages 12 to 14 and the other ages 15 to 19. Now, I found this floating around on Facebook, and it has a QR code that will help you with registering and all this other good stuff. But if you don't have access to that, just go to www.archinstitute, that's ARCH, institute.org, www.archinstitute.org. Okay? All right, sounds like a plan. At least it does to me. Anyhow, let's keep it moving here, because we got quite a few things to touch on. Okay. We've got the town hall coming up. St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John. It's called Let's Grow. It's related to the UVI School of Agriculture, all right? And on St. Croix, they're talking about Wednesday, May 1st, yesterday, they had their town hall, okay, from 6 to 8 p.m. So yeah, Doc, if it was Wednesday and today is Thursday, why you talking about it? Well, because one, it's out there when it's out there, and people can attend based on if they know what's going on. And it's just a stress, if you want people to attend, you got to get the word out there early. And WSTX is one of those places where we help get the word out there early. Okay? So, if you missed it, at least you know you can check in with the University of the Virgin Islands School of Agriculture and see what you can find out about what took place in that town hall meeting. All right, good thing. All right, now I see the folks here at the Children's Museum of St. Croix have got a countdown going on. Now, I don't know how far down the count is, but they have an event here at Eventbrite, and I'm going to share it with you. For those of you who are on YouTube with me, you can see the poster that I found online. Okay, so check it out. The Children's Museum, hey, they're working very hard, raising money to develop this Child Museum physical center here on St. Croix. In the meantime, events like they had the Literary Fest on Book Fair, and they had a tent out there, and the children were there, yes, interacting with the various authors and talking about various things. That's what we got to do. We've got to get them involved. And then you see them when they're at the fair, and then you see them when they're at the botanical gardens, and one day they're going to have their own home. But in the meantime, you're going to see them around, and even after they have their own home, you're going to see them around. Hey, it's children. Got to have children around. I don't care. Don't be telling me nothing about the disgusting and this, that, and the other, because next thing I know you're going to tell me is that you were never a child, right? Okay. Anyhow, we ain't going there.
I born big.
Good morning, Gerard.
Good morning.
Yes, talking about them people who born big. All right. Okay, going right down the list. We have the Ocean Art exhibit, and they're calling out artists. Yes, join them in celebrating the VI's first Coral Reef Week by creating an ocean-inspired art now. And that has to be submitted by June 21st. All right, but let's get into some of the other details here. Well, first of all, it's going to be showcasing at Levels on June 29th, and Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts Gallery in Frederiksted from July 2nd through the 6th. Yep. So once you have your art done to submit for the exhibit, you can drop it off at the Department of Planning and Natural Resources Coastal Zone Management Office at Mars Hill in Frederickstead. Okay, you can also drop it off at the East End Marine Park office here in Christiansted out there by Great Pond. Okay, now if you need information how to proceed, they have a phone number, 340 718 3367. 718-3367. Now, the person that you would be talking to is Alex Fireman. Okay? Yes, a NOAA Coral Fellow. So, get involved, folks. All ages and mediums are welcome. Art must provide points of photography, or I should, forgive me, prints of your photography where you have the photography involved, and up to 3 pieces per participant. Okay. All artwork must be an original work by the participant. Yeah. Should be very interesting. I tell you, we just got talent left and right in this place. Now, Chant and the Youth Art Month. It was so good they had to extend it. Yes, and I'm happy that they did. So that exhibit is going to be open till the 9th of May. And you can see it from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Not 11 anymore. From 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. All right? So it's been extended to May 9th, which is great. Give many more people the opportunity to go down there and stroll through and take a look and enjoy what's there. Yep. Art lovers, come on out. All right. Good thing. Check out the folks there. Kiddo. Mother's Day coming up. Whether it's Mother's here or Memory of Mothers, it's one of those days when you say Mother's Day, everybody get like, okay, all right. Those folks, they're like, that one creep up on me. Good thing I find out, because heaven knows I ain't want to have to revisit the dog house. I don't want to have to change residence. Yes, folks. Mother's Day is around the corner, and there is a jump up planned for Friday, May 3rd, from 6 to 10 p.m. Yes, and if you want more information, you can do this email thing here, CRRA, okay, that's CRRAINFO, okay? Okay. Christiansted Retail and Restaurant Association, CRRAINFO, at yahoo.com. Find out more. For those of you who might be visiting us at the time and just heard this siren song coming out of WSTX, yep, Jump Up is where local small businesses shine, discover unique treasures, savor artisanal delights, and connect with passionate people you have not seen before or for a while. Okay? And you might even see some you don't see every day. Either which way, it's all good. All right. Oh, my goodness. Kikai Aquatics is doing summer swim lessons starting June 4th. Yep. Tuesdays at Dorsch Beach from 3:30 to 4:30 and 4:30 to 5. So let's call it 2 sessions between 3:30 and 5. Okay. And then on Thursdays, they're going to be at Shoals Beach, 3:30 till 5 again, 2 sessions. Okay. And Saturday, it's going to be at the Beeston Hill Gym. You know, they've got a nice pool there from 10 all the way up to 11:30, and it looks like they have 4 sessions, 10, 10:30, 11, and 11:30. All right? So, don't know how to swim? Hey, get on out there and do it. We're surrounded by water. Enjoy that sea. I remember Gerard watching these little children, and they go down by the sea, and the wave come in, and they don't run away. And as soon as they learn what this thing seawater is and how much fun it is, then the parents getting upset because they won't come out when they tell them to come out. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, Kikai, that's KIEKAI Aquatics, and they have a Facebook page, and also they have email kikaiaquatics@yahoo.com. All right. If you don't know how to swim, learn to swim. Definitely. You're here in the Caribbean with all this nice water, please, please, please go out and learn to swim. Yes, Good Hope School is at it again. You know, one of my favorite places is Caribbean Community Theaters. But you know, it have this bug about drama and acting and everything else, and thank goodness there's plenty of it out there. And in this case, Good Hope is contributing its share in a play called The Music Man. All right? The Music Man, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube, you see the remnants there of their flyer. And you see that, hey, the last two shows are May 3rd and May 4th, Friday and Saturday, at the Good Hope Country Day School Pavilion. Now, The Music Man is directed by Michael Amarendez and Kiyomi Pedrini. The musical director is Philippa Smith Tyler. I know that lady.
That name sounds familiar.
All right, good thing. Now, on a sad and joyful note, all at the same time, May 4th, there is a memorial for Candia Atwater Shields. Yes. And when you think Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts, think of her as a founder, a motivator, a instigator, encouraging word, all of those things. But the important thing is that because of her efforts and the others who supported along the way, we have Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts. And they're having a celebration of her life, yes, on the 4th from 3 to 6 p.m. The memorial itself begins at 4 p.m. And I believe they have plans to stream it also if you can't physically attend. Yes, that's going to be at Caribbean Museum Centers for the Arts, and that is Saturday, May 4th. St. Croix Educational Complex, yeah. We know that they've got it going on with their marching band, okay, and their music program in general. And they have a flyer here that says SCEC Rebirth. All right. They're coming out, folks, May 9th at 7 p.m. St. Croix Educational Complex Auditorium. $5 at the door. Hey, I mean, only $5? What? Doing good with this inflation running rampant? What do you think, Gerard?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right. So do your part for the great music as well as supporting the music program of St. Croix Educational Complex. Now, once upon a time, we had a place here on St. Croix that was called the Boys and Girls Club. Okay, and it involved into the Caribbean Centers for Boys and Girls, a totally independent organization. Yes, okay. And May 11th, they're having a Crucian breakfast sale. Folks, I did the wrong thing and I went and I looked at the menu. So let me clear out this salivating and get to telling what they're doing here, okay? Frederickstead Hannah's Rest Caribbean Center for Boys and Girls Club from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. with a menu that consists of saltfish, chop, boiled egg, Johnny cake, dump bread, fritters, and bush tea. Yes, $15, folks, and you know how they're gonna serve you, right? Okay, I would pass on all the fancy restaurants to eat good. Okay, and this is one of the places that they could be both fancy and you eat good. So support the Caribbean Centers for Boys and Girls as they have their Crucian breakfast on May 11th. Yes, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. But you know, they might say till 11 a.m. But I'm going to tell you, make sure you come in that first hour, hour and a half. Make sure you get yours.
Make sure I get it before dog. He love it, belly.
Oh, yeah? No, man.
Remember somebody said so?
It ain't like that. It's, you know, we have members here at WSTX present and past that I afraid of when it comes to food, if you didn't get it before them. But it wasn't dog. It wasn't dog. Okay. Anyhow, they want to thank you in advance for your support, and I say that they're supporting us every day. All you have to do is visit and see the work that they do with the children every day, the special events that they do and everything else. Yep. So support the Caribbean Centers for Boys and Girls. Okay. Now, they got a team of people here that I am going to not call names just in case they left out anybody off of the team. Okay. But I'm just going to say that it's community, folks. It's our children, folks. Support the Caribbean Centers for Boys and Girls. All right. Now, movie making. All right. High school and college students, there's a Drive Safe contest, and the deadline was extended to May 15th. Yes, because, and I think in part they realize that, hey, making a movie isn't something you just jump up and do. You got to give it some thought and work out the logistics and get it done. Well, anyhow, they want you to submit a video, a graphic, or a radio ad about safe driving for a chance to win a cash prize. Yep. Prize is sponsored by the VI Insurance Association. Yep. And you can find out more information from Centerline Car Rentals for one of them. Okay. Yep. Because, hey, they deep off into this. They have an interest in making sure that people are safe on the road, just like you and I have an interest. And I'm glad to see that they're involved. The Virgin Islands Office of Highway Safety, yep, and the VI Association interest, of course, because the more people hear the positive message and don't lick up, the less insurance companies have to pay. What you say, Gerard?
True. I agree.
All right. So now, don't feel no way just because they have them kind of interest. No, you know. Get your child involved. They like to play with that camera and the phone and everything. Get them involved. Okay? That's how you make the difference. Future drivers of America. Okay.
That's how it
is. All right. Anyhow, I see the folks for the chamber, the St. Croix Chamber, are having a Champions of Commerce Business and Professional Excellence Awards Gala, and that's going to be Saturday, May 18th at Great Tree Bay Hotel, and it's tickets a black tie affair. Yeah. Or a black tie soiree.
I suppose you don't have a black tie.
I don't know, mister. What are you going to do? You know, I don't know. Maybe you could get a black madras tie. What do you think? Gerard, what are you laughing about in here? Who gave you a joke?
A black madras tie.
Who gave you a joke, Gerard?
I haven't seen one of those.
You haven't seen one of those? Okay. All right. Well, I got something right here that everybody should be interested in, okay? Because whether it's mothers, sisters, grannies, aunties, or whatever, hey, we love them. We love them. And the 40th annual women race is coming up, folks. Yep. 40 years running for her. A 2-mile course in Fredericksburg that they do every year now for the past couple of years. And let me tell you, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Check it out. Register early. You see the QR code. So if you see the poster anywhere, you know the QR code is right there. If you need to find out more information, just call the office number 773-9272. All right. They have a great, pleasant receptionist there. And that number is also their hotline if you need their assistance. All right. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Let's see what we're going to do here as we move right along. Okay. Women's race. Gerard, you going?
Hey, that man, I can't run.
You can't run, but you could support. Don't tell Deborah what you say.
I give them a donation.
You give them a donation?
Yeah.
All right. But you can support. That's the important thing. Anyhow, summertime is around the corner, and I'm starting to see, no, not campaign signs. Oh, not campaign signs, folks. Summer programs popping up, okay? Summer programs popping up. All right. So the St. Croix Montessori and World School is asking you to join their summer program, all right, which includes a youth t-shirt. Spots are limited, 24 children per age group. Yes, they have ages 3 to 6, ages 7 to 12, okay. And it's going to be June 24th through July 19th, Monday through Friday from 8 in the morning till 3:30. Yep. Okay. You want more information about it? Call 340-728-2859. 340-728-2859. Of course, stcroixmontessori.com. And you could email them at info@stcroixmontessori.com. All right, Tom. Yeah, and as I come to the end of that, I say life is so funny. You come with nothing, then you fight for everything, and later leave everything and go with nothing.
That's true.
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, can't take it with you. Simple thing. Can't take it with you. All right. Okay, doke. So, Jared.
Yes, sir.
What's new? Don't tell me ain't nothing new now.
You have a lot of time.
Huh?
Yeah, how much time we got?
It's so much new? It's so much new? Okay.
Something going on new and old.
Well, I've been working on something for you. Okay? I know that you are into technology and phones and computers and all kind of gadgets and apps for this and apps for that. Yeah, folks. Jared is the apps man. Okay? So, we got an incoming call. All right, let me see who's here.
And I'd like to go on.
Good morning, WSTX.
Yes, Brother Canton.
Yes, sir, Brother Nibs.
Good
I shouldn't call you out.
Huh?
He can't hide.
Somebody here say you can't hide, so I could call you out.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, to Gerard, I want to let him know that was a good show the other day. Well, what show was it again? I mean, so much shows now I can't remember.
Which one of the shows?
Huh?
Which one of the shows?
Yes, which one of the shows?
Yeah.
What we're talking about? Tell me.
No, it was about the Constitution and stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, I don't remember whose show it was. I think it was Pikey's show. I don't
Uh-huh.
remember.
No, wrong Gerard.
Right, that's all right. That's wrong Gerard. That's the other Gerard. Okay,
Oh.
but that's important too, the Constitution, because you know, I went to the literary festival and book fair at UVI, and they had a panel there. Okay, and I'm looking forward to when the panel is going to share that video with the greater audience of the people of the Virgin Islands, because it was very interesting insight. Malik Siku was one of them on the panel. I don't remember the names of the other two distinguished gentlemen at the moment. Hey, senior moment, call it that, right? But anyhow, I'm gonna make sure, because they've made their commitment that they're gonna get these things to the community. But it was some very interesting food for thought. Because we don't keep saying we want something and then we don't do the exact opposite. Okay? Because
is it traditional then?
I don't know.
Or cultural?
I don't know, but I'm going to tell you.
I think more traditional.
When Obama sent back down the thing and say, I appreciate your effort, but you need to address these 9 things, and we didn't address none of them. Okay?
Well, what can I say?
And I'm saying, you want a constitution to tell you could have one, but you got to address these things. And you don't address them. And part of it is the people, and part of it is the powers that be. Because the reality is, it takes work, it takes understanding, it takes commitment. And obviously, somewhere along the line, some elements aren't present.
Right.
Because it wasn't funded. Because even if you fund the discussion and the process, then at least you're showing some commitment to moving forward. But everything just fall flat.
You realize we don't like change.
Well, when
Right?
you can't flat, you better fix a flat in it.
Oh, yeah.
But Dougie, listen to that. I have been making it my duty, civil and whatever else not, to give my position on the Constitution on every talk show. And it is very simple that the fifth is the constitutional document. Now that's me. I make no disclaimer for nobody else. And then I also goes further to say there would be no 666, no 666. The fifth. Okay? You're taping it, right?
Yep.
Good. No, that's me.
I got it all on record.
Good. But let me close by saying today is National Prayer Day? Some among a prayer day. I don't know if it's national or international. Maybe it's national. National Day of Prayer. Well, our home, the Virgin Islands, maybe we need a lot of prayer, but I don't know if you're old enough to remember the elder saying, my son, prayer can't help how we know. God turn it back on us.
I have to agree with you there, but Mr. Nibs,
Yeah.
the Gerard you're looking for is Gerard Emmanuel.
Okay.
I am Gerard Evelyn.
Okay.
Two Gerard, but different last name.
But you all talk a lot alike, man. You all talk
We do?
You sure he ain't copy your voice?
Well, I guess our Gerards think alike, I guess. I don't know.
Whether the Evelyn or Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, the national prayer, the people, let's all pray. And in a closing salvo, I must say that the Epstein peace that's sailing across all platforms, from the young to Stacey Plaskett with White and Dow in between, prayer can't help you. I got.
All right, so good talking with you, Mr.
All right, have a safe day.
right.
Okay then, good.
Okay.
All right, I tell you. You got these people just love to stir up the ants nest, and while people ain't watching, some people they could get bite up while they run off, okay?
You know what I mean? Stop the answers and hit the jack spanner nest and run.
You know? Anyhow, I've been working on something for you, I guess you could say, in a sense, for you, okay?
For me.
So let we try a thing here and see what gonna happen, okay?
Combined hearing and vision loss? ICANN Connect is a national program that provides free training and communication equipment, including smartphones and computers, to individuals with significant combined hearing and vision loss who meet income guidelines. Call 340-692-4267. That's 340-692-4267 to learn more about the program's guidelines, refer someone you know, or to apply for the program.
Yes, sir. All right. That's more than just the audio. What we have is a video that accompanies it, explaining that for those people who might be caught by the visual at the time. And folks, that's part of what we do here at WSTX these days when we stream. You're going to see more and more of these things getting into our stream. Not so much from an advertising perspective, but from a community-minded station perspective, because these are the kind of things that we put on. Okay?
Yes.
But just the other day, you were reminding me what week it was.
It was National AT Awareness
Okay.
Day.
You see, you got this bad habit. Yeah, I'm gonna call you out, folks. You got this bad habit of thinking everybody's savvy and these acronyms and short thing and everything else.
But I tell
What's
you what it
National
was.
AT mean, Jared?
I tell you what it was.
You tell me
Yes.
a week ago.
So you forget already?
No,
your,
me
your
forget.
Age, your age telling.
But you got all of these people here listening. Don't do that to them. Okay, we got another caller. So tell people real quick what National AT is.
National AT is National Assistive Technology Awareness Day.
Okay.
Assistive technology is any device bought or modified or created to assist you to complete any task in your daily life.
All right, fantastic. Okay, we got a call. Let's go to our caller. We'll come back to this ad. Good morning, WSTX.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning, caller.
Explain to me how this is possible in our community that we're talking about anything except what that monitor did in St. Thomas and the whole and I shouldn't even say what the monitor did. What everybody else around him didn't do. How is this not a problem to us?
Well,
The more I hear about it, the more I am shocked about how many people should have known. It was right in their face. The latest thing, I read the article again. I read it before that he got sentenced, but I didn't really read it all the way because I didn't think it was going to be any new information. But I was totally wrong. I reread it to them, I think it was last night or early this morning, and they're saying that the monitor's office, where he molested a lot of these children, is right next to the principal's office. And I'm like, how in the world could the principal not have any clue that this was going on? What about the other monitors? Nobody, it's like nobody supposedly had a clue that this man was doing this stuff when he was so brazen with it. And if it wasn't for the little boy who he tried to have in his same hotel room in Puerto Rico, if it wasn't for him speaking out, he would have still been doing it.
well,
Is this not a total breakdown of our society?
I feel very much the way that you do. Okay, and you're going into something that for so many years, whether it's predatory in that context or incest or whatever, there are things here that need to just, you gotta rip off the scab. It ain't gonna heal properly unless you go back in there and clean it out. And
Yep.
I think there's still a lot of people that have an issue with a public discourse on these things. Okay? Just the same way they tell girls to dress modest, but they don't tell boys to respect girls. Okay? We have these I don't know, it's cognitive dissonance that we just somehow tune out. I don't know the answer for you if it was that I was supposed to provide an answer, but I just know from my observations that we just have, you get a little mele susu talking and it's so, I hear and da, 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 da. But to come out and be proactive in the communities and say, no, this has to stop. You might hear it from women's coalition,
Where's our
but
community going when the youngest of us, our future, are being constantly violated right in front of our very eyes? And we don't do anything. We don't protect them. And then we expect that they're going to grow up having good feelings about us?
well,
that they were allowed to be violated right in front of our eyes, and we as a community did nothing to protect them. Where are we going as a community? How do they not grow up hating us?
well, I don't know the answer to those questions, but I do know that what I hear in our community, other than one-on-one conversations, for the most part, like I have the organization, a women's coalition that speaks out on these issues, and they had a whole...
Right, but there's like 5 of them.
Right.
I mean, I'm being
I'm just saying.
facetious, but
I'm just saying that
there's a small percentage of our community that are involved in these things.
Right.
The majority of us seem, and that's the thing, we also seem to give the predators the okay, that is, their behavior is okay. So they continue without any remorse. This guy doesn't seem like he this was life, apparently.
well,
He didn't seem to think anything that he was doing was wrong. And that's because that's the impression we gave him. He isn't like coming from the outside. This is not like, what's his, Epstein.
well,
This
I'm
is somebody in
gonna
our community.
I'm-
We grew him.
I'm just gonna say whether it's the Virgin Islands, the Greater Caribbean, or internationally, there is a problem that people don't talk about. And this don't talk about goes back to things like, for instance, like in class. You had people who were considered well-to-do that were doing these things, the pre-Epsteins, in the Virgin Islands. People don't, it's like when you're trying to find out who related how, and you go to the elder and say, oh God, man, leave that alone now. It's like it's a lot of
That's like cancer. If you take that attitude towards cancer, you know what happens.
it spreads and it kills.
Yes.
It spreads and it kills, and you're exactly right. There are people who feel like if I don't talk about it, it'll go away, and it's not going to go away.
No, it's not highly unlikely. If you would have to just be really, really, really lucky for it to just go away on its own, just like cancer. For the most part, it's going to spread and it's going to kill unless you find it early, root it out of your body. And that's the same thing. You have to spot this stuff early.
Well,
and stop and get it out of the community.
Okay. Now, you're familiar with the term no snitch, right?
Right.
Okay.
Snitches get stitches.
And I'm saying that we don't have a countervailing message that's being put out there. Once in a blue moon, you hear, if you see something, say something. Once in a blue moon, you hear that. Right? And I mean, for every 500 no snitch, because no snitch is to the point now, it's in the people's mind. They hear it in their mind.
Right.
But they don't hear on the radio and they don't hear on TV. If you see something, say something every day, every day, every day. So that could displace the no snitch mentality that allows predators to keep communities captive.
Yes. Well, I tell people, if you don't want me to snitch, don't do it in front of me. Don't do it in front of me. You don't want me to talk about it, but if you do it in front of me, that's my information. I can do what I want with it. Who told you to do it right in front of my face?
Yeah. But for those who are...
and I'm not going to sit back and watch you tear down the community I live in and don't try to stop you in any fashion. And that's the thing. They're doing stuff that everybody knows is bad for the community that they live in. And then they're going to tell them, don't snitch. Don't do what you were doing. Don't give me stuff to snitch about. The stuff you're doing is bad. Everybody knows it tears the community apart.
Okay.
Breaks that community down.
Let me say this to take it another step further, right? Because you have those who will tell you that they fear for their life or physical being.
And that's a rarity.
Comes into
Some
play.
People, they really are.
That's why they say snitches get stitches.
Okay, yeah, patience.
Right.
But most people who don't snitch, they aren't in any danger. All they are, what there is that people might ridicule them. They're not telling, not out of fear of their lives, but for fear from being ridiculed, being called a snitch.
Well,
and so they keep their mouths shut.
Let me put it this way, right? If you see a crime being done and you see who is doing it and you don't like it and you want to report it, but you're afraid, if you write down the details on a piece of paper, put the paper in a self-sealing envelope, buy one of them self-sticking stamps so they can't track you down by DNA. Nothing. And drop it in the mail to the police department.
Yeah, but
but let me finish this thought and then come to you, Gerard. My point is, where there's a will, there's a way. You know?
Exactly.
And we have to start figuring out a way, because if the police get all the details to take a criminal off the street, they don't have to have a face or a person to identify where the information came from. All they have to do is verify the information.
Right.
Okay? And so we have to...
do an investigation and then maybe again come across somebody who is willing to speak up, that is not afraid, but to sit there and say nothing, do nothing, that is just allowing somebody to just come to your house and just rip it apart piece by piece, and you sit there and say nothing until you're just sitting on the foundation alone.
I hear you. I always tell the story of the person who is there in their house, see the truck pull up and people moving out thing and everything else. As far as they know, their neighbor ain't moving nowhere. They went and called a friend and said, I see so and so and so. A friend tell him, well, call police. So, you want to get involved. Not realizing in that moment that the next time it will be their place.
Right. And that's the thing. I think we think we're untouchable. We think that bad things can happen around us and to people in our community.
To other people.
And it won't affect us. And there is no way that's not going to affect us. A lot of times it's just you may not realize when it's affecting you. But like say a husband beat up their wife, and then that wife goes to work, and that wife's one of the cashiers at Wafa. what kind of treatment you think you're going to get when you go there to Whopper to pay your bill?
Exactly.
And then you're going to come complain about how, there's poor customer service.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, there's always the ramifications that you see, those that you don't see, but the ramifications. Period.
They are there.
You know,
and then
they're
if you think about it for a second, you would realize that this is something, even though it doesn't directly affect me, it's going to affect me in some manner. These guys who got molested by this coach, one of them can end up marrying your daughter, and has these issues from what happened to them.
That's
and
right.
now that becomes your daughter's issues and your issues.
Well, the thing we have to deal with is the fact that in you go to the community and you talk with people, you say, I know he was kind of like that, you know, and da 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 da. And they're not saying that just because hindsight is 20/20, and these things are run in the community, and people suspect and have a feeling and this and that, but nobody acts on it. You know,
Right.
nobody
and
acts
this
on
guy
it.
was so blatant. I mean, that behavior is like, if indeed it didn't trigger any suspicion, that in itself is a problem. That you were around this guy and he was doing all these things out in the open, and it didn't trigger you to think something ain't right here, something ain't wrong. Somebody needs to take a look at this guy, and if it isn't going to be me, I should notify somebody that, you know, I'm not saying anything. I don't know anything for sure, but this doesn't seem right. Somebody needs to take a look at this guy.
Yep. And as a case study, treat it like this, the one we found. Okay, as a case study.
Right.
Yeah.
And learn from it.
And learn from it.
Learn. You now know the behaviors of somebody who does things like this. Keep an eye out. It doesn't, not necessarily that everybody who does these things are going to turn out to be a molester, but there is a decent possibility, and these things we need to be looking for.
Yeah. Well, I know, you know, in the terms when I have people out there, you know, and talking about children going to this, that, I always want to know, well, who the adults in the room, who's supervising, whatever, this
Yep.
kind of thing, you know, and you know, it's
And
one
children can't really tell. They're too young. They don't really know. And that's what I don't send my children places and to people without me interacting with them and trying to get a feel for who they are, because I know my children miss so many signs about you. We're together. Something happens. I see all kinds of stuff, and then when I talk to them later on, they didn't see any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know my children are not going to pick up on a lot of signs. And even if they do, a lot of times they don't know what those signs mean because they just haven't had the experience.
Yep.
So I'm not going to send my children anywhere without me going there and checking it out and seeing, does this look okay? Am I seeing anything that disturbs me? And if I do, I'm not leaving them there.
Yep. I remember ages ago, my daughter would want to have a party, and Friday she wanted to have a party Saturday. I said, no, it don't work like that. You know, first of all, who you going to invite? Who are the parents? And, you know, how do we know them and interact and make sure that when they come here, their parents feel that there's someplace safe, or to this event, that there's someplace safe and so forth and so on. That's the way my mind works, you know,
Right.
in that context. But as you said, the children, all they know is like, well, okay, this, that, that. They're immediate in front of their eye, and they're not really discerning anything. It's like a blur to them.
Right.
Other than
They
having
haven't
fun.
had the experiences yet to know. They don't know what those things
Right.
really mean. They don't know, you know, because they just haven't lived long enough to find out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got another caller I got to run to, but
All right.
I am glad that you called to echo those sentiments, because we can't just move on. We
No,
have to make sure
no,
that this
no.
don't happen
If we
again.
do, we're only inviting more of it.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you
All
much
right.
for the call. You have a great day.
Bye.
All right then. Take care.
You say.
Good morning, WSTX.
Yeah, doggy, I had tore up the nest and run. I didn't know. I didn't know Mr. City were coming to throw fire upon it.
Lordy V, you
But listen,
you realize
you're so correct because, I mean, through my very short, almost 80 years of life, I mean, when I was in Charles Malley High School, I mean, we had the amount of teachers, counselors, principal, whatever, on one hand. We could have, everybody know who they were or what they was. You feel me?
yeah, no,
Yeah. You know, but the thing that is bothersome with this whole thing, and we were talking about snitch and all that, I mean, I have heard it all. My son, me go keep my mouth shut because I don't want people to curse me. That's one part of it, Dougie. You said, but talk to the police. You know why I didn't? Me go tell the police. The police them will sit as I say. So that's what do a person do? I mean, you talk about maybe the what you call the way of selling something anonymously or something.
That's why you have 1-800-222-TIPS.
They seem to infiltrate because they want to bury the messenger.
okay. Hold on a second, Gerard. Say that again.
That's why you have 1-800-222-TIPS.
Yes, to help.
But you hear why I say that? These people are so helpful that they will not just name boy, that one name boy.
Yeah, but you can't. The thing is, that hotline is not controlled by the VI, so they can't they can't trace it back.
People.
Yeah, but they can't trace it back to you.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, but the other thing, like I said earlier, if we want to report something, there's ways to report something without making yourself known. Period. And we have to ingrain that and support that. You know.
Sure, and you're right. I think we need to talk about that more, and so people can feel comfortable because people don't feel comfortable. You see people passing down the street and there are some of them that will take a camera and videoing two little girls beating up themselves. Some put on blinders and they're going straight because they don't want to see. Nobody called me to be no juror or no witness.
Yep.
I mean, this is what we have come to.
Yep.
Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it up? Is it down? This is what we have come to. Thanks again.
All right, good thing.
All
right, take care. All right, I did a little bit behind the power curve here because I know I have someone that is wanting to come and join you and I.
Before you start,
Uh-huh.
good morning to those of you on Facebook. People have been saying good morning, so we have to say good morning. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there. Okay,
All right.
go ahead.
Okay, and you know, I usually come dressed appropriately and everything else, so to speak.
You got clothes, right?
Uh-huh.
You got clothes, right?
Always.
Okay,
Always.
so how you mean you dress appropriate?
No, I said I usually make it a point to dress appropriately, and I was going somewhere with that, and just realized here I step out without my phone.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So anyhow, I'll try a thing here and see if by chance I can get through. I have a guest I want to bring in here this
I
morning.
believe she have an iPhone.
But if you have the number, you could give them a call for me. I'd appreciate that. But tell them we're ready for her. Anyhow, it's the 9 o'clock hour,
Well,
and we're going to be taking a break.
they beat you. They're calling me.
Okay, we're going to be taking a break.
Hi.
And folks, we're going to be talking about a very important topic here in a minute.
She said to resend the link.
So we'll be getting back to you in a minute. So in the meantime, let's turn you over to these very great people
Okay, hold on
that
a second.
support this community-minded station. All right.
AM 970, WSTX, Christiansted, Frederickstead, and the Virgin Islands.
When it's time for bug eliminating, on Oliver exterminating. When island pests become unwanted guests, you need number one, the island's best.
After 30 years of business, Oliver Exterminating knows how to get rid of your bugs. Guaranteed. In St. Croix or St. Thomas, Oliver Exterminating.
They have the Espanol in pest control. Oliver exterminating's the best to get rid of bugs and all of your pests.
Grab your lads and come.
Jay's Landscaping. We do tree trimming, debris removal, small and large lot clearance, commercial and residential yard maintenance, all at reasonable rates.
Call Jason for Jay's Landscaping, 473-8586. Estimates available. No job too big or too small.
AM 970, WSTX, Christiansted, Frederickstead, and the Virgin Islands.
Yes, folks, we're back. Anyhow, I am trying to let them in, but I ain't get a response yet. Okay, so we're gonna have someone join us here via Zoom in a minute. And okay, here we go. Yeah, I've got one each. Diane Hampton on the line here with us, okay, and I just put that in there so that the folks on Facebook
You told me about
About your book.
see us, okay. Hello.
Hello.
All right, good thing. You're in.
I'm in. Great.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to join your radio talk show this morning, and it's a great opportunity for our community, and especially for those of us who are dealing with cancer.
All right, fantastic. Glad to have you here this morning. It's a topic that's near and dear to my heart, okay? And, you know, as things would have it, I went into my closet to get dressed this morning. I have my uniform that I usually come in. And I said, wait, no, I don't wear up all my uniform and I ain't washed them yet. And then I said, oh, I guess say if I look over there and there was this pink one, the exception. It was the same uniform, but I got one that's a pink shirt, okay? And it says, no one walks alone, okay? That's right on the side of the chest. You might be familiar with that one there. But anyhow, because we talk about breast cancer in particular, and for men especially, we have to talk about and be vigilant when it comes to colon cancer, because us Caribbean men somehow or the other don't believe we can mash up. We don't need to go doctor, right? And we need to dispel that myth like anything else. Anyhow, Diane, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. You know, we go way back when you joined us for the first retreat for breast cancer survivors. That was at the Villa Mill Point before the hurricane, Hurricane Maria. And because we have been so, so involved with working with women who have been diagnosed and treated and over again with breast cancer, we started the first breast cancer retreats. And so that was 2016. And now it's 2024. And we are launching, when I say we, the VI Breast Cancer Project. And with the support of our community and the National Council of the Arts, of course, the VI Council for the Arts has played a very significant role in supporting our projects. So we are actually hosting a retreat for all cancer survivors. It's called the Art of Healing for Cancer Survivors Retreat, and it's going to be held May the 10th through the 12th, and it's open for all cancer survivors. So I have always been the breast cancer advocate, and I still am, but right before COVID, right at the time when COVID hit, I was diagnosed with third stage endometrial cancer. So I have been traveling back and forth between St. Croix and Washington, D.C. to get my treatment. But that has not prohibited me or stopped me from still being the advocate that I am. And I thought it was a great opportunity to start the retreats again since COVID is over. And so at this particular event, and we have a great schedule. I sent you the schedule, and I'm so looking forward to seeing all the ladies there and the men. But let me tell you who some of our sponsors are. Of course, the VI Council for the Arts, the National Endowment of the Arts, and the St. Croix Foundation, Blue Sky Real Estate, VI Partners of Healthy Living, Sandcastles by the Sea, the Market, St. Croix, Seaside Market in Delhi, St. Thomas, St. Croix Cancer Specialist. That's Dr. Elizabeth Del Giaco. She is our only oncologist there in St. Croix who serves our large population of cancer patients. And then there's a Gateway gas station because we are offering to our volunteers a certificate to get gas so that they can help us with picking up the participants, the cancer survivors. They can pick them up and take them out to the Featherleaf Inn. And then we have the Caravel Casino and Hotel, and they have contributed. And so we look forward to those of you who are out there in the listening audience. We are encouraging you, if you haven't registered, you're certainly welcome to call me, and we can offer you a day pass on Saturday where you have the opportunity to participate in our art classes. So the art of healing, as we know, art saves lives, and it's such a variety of artistic activities that you can be involved in. But we're so fortunate that we have some of the most phenomenal, gifted, and talented artists right there in St. Croix. And so I'm going to tell you who they are. I'm going to go down this schedule. I'm looking at the schedule. So the opening night, actually opening day, starts on the 10th, and I will be welcoming the guests at 3:45. Registration and check-in time is at 3. And for those of you who are not aware, the Featherleaf Inn at one time was the historic estate called Butler Bay. And it's just very significant that we're hosting it there because it's in an environment that allows you to really feel relaxed, and also out of respect for those elders and people who were enslaved who worked on that plantation, it gives us a sense of gratitude and appreciation. And the old hospital, which is the ruins, is right across the street as you enter the property. It's sort of, you look at that and you reflect, like, wow, hospitals have been a part of the infrastructure of St. Croix for over 100 years. And so we have to be mindful that our hospitals, especially the one that we have there in St. Croix and then St. Thomas, were both damaged from Hurricane Maria. And as cancer patients, we do have to be very mindful of the fact that sometimes we're not able to get our treatment right there in St. Croix or our surgery. So hospitals are very, very important. And it's one of the things that our project, the VI Cancer Project, we're really focused on research, and particularly for breast cancer. But let me continue on with the schedule. So after the arrival, everyone will get their keys to the room, and we're going to have a paper hat making class. I love making paper hats, birthday hats. And then we're going to have a sunset dinner on the patio. And after the sunset dinner on the patio, we are having a memorial tribute, a Bambula Creative Cultural Jagna with QM Dr. Chinza Ra Davis Kahana. I always call her affectionately, and she goes by Dr. Chen. And we're going to meet by the baobab tree, which is a tree that originated from West Africa. And for those of you who are familiar with the Bambula dance, this is a real spiritual kind of experience, but at the same time, we are making a memorial tribute to the enslaved people who lived on that plantation, who passed away, and for all of our family and friends who died from cancer. So it is open to the public to come and join us around the baobab tree. You're certainly welcome. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And then on Saturday, day 2, we're going to wake up early and we have a yoga class, and that is going to be taught by Carrie Swain. She is a breast cancer survivor and single mother, and she's joining us from Washington, D.C. And then we're going to have breakfast. Before breakfast, 7 to 8, it's mindful meditation. That means that you have a time to sit and be at peace with yourself and to enjoy the beautiful property there at the Featherleaf Inn. And then we have breakfast from 8 to 9, and then Waldemar Broadhurst at 10 a.m. is our wire sculpture. Of course, you've seen a lot of his wire sculpture around St. Croix, and he has been one of our phenomenal teachers who's worked with our breast cancer and all cancer survivors at the Caribbean Museum Center for the Art. And so if you're interested in that day pass, please let me know for cancer survivors. And then at 12 to 12:30, you have time to relax, mindful meditation. And Charlene Springer, who will be the facilitator for our bush bath, will also be available to go through some exercises that are a part of the mindful meditation. And so we're really looking forward to her being there. And then we have lunch from 12:30 to 1:30, and then the dyeing class with Yamaya Jones from 1:30 to 3:30. All of our art classes are 2 hours long, and I know everybody's familiar with Yamaya. She just celebrated her 70th birthday, and if you're listening, Yamaya, happy belated birthday. And then at from 4 to 6, John Obafumi Jones will be teaching an oil pastel drawing class. He taught for us during the COVID period at the Caribbean Museum Center for the Art. And Yamaya and John are both cancer survivors, which makes it really special because they're very sensitive and aware of what this journey is about. And then from 6:30 to 9 p.m., we have a family and friends night, and that is with dinner and a silent art auction. So we're encouraging the public. We do have limited space for 10 guests to attend. Please give me a call, or you can go on the website email vibreastcancerproject@gmail.com, and give me your name, phone number, and the number of tickets. It's limited to 10. And we have a special guest speaker who's going to do an opening orientation or review about the landmark, that the historic estate, and that's Sonia Jacobs-Dow she's executive director of the Estate Wem Museum, and she's going to actually share historical beginnings of and to the present about the Butler Plantation that was built in 1764. And so on Sunday, that's the last day of our retreat. From 6 to 7, we have another yoga class with Carrie, and then from 7 to 8, breakfast, and from 8 to 10 a.m., a bush bath with Charlene Springer down at the beach, which is right in front of the hotel. And then, of course, the Featherleaf Inn is hosting a Mother's Day brunch from 12:30 until I guess 2 or 3, and that's going to be a great event. And I believe the tickets for that are $40, and they have it out. It's $43. It's advertised on their website, and we certainly hope that if you are interested, please go on their website and purchase your tickets for your mother for Mother's Day. But so that's the schedule for our event, and as you know, this will be videotaped for documentary purposes by Kevin Molinaire. Kevin has been documenting all of our art therapy classes, and by documenting them, we are allowed to share the videos as we continue to submit grant applications. And we are certainly very appreciative and grateful, and we have so much gratitude for his talent because he's able to capture those artistic moments when the classes are taking place at the museum, or even I forgot to mention King Roots Gallery. Sonia Dean has been one of our facilitators for the mindful meditation classes. So our mission for the VI Breast Cancer Project is to really find the cure for cancer. And doing that, it means it's important to bring all of the cancer survivors together so that we can share our commonality in terms of our experiences and document what's happening. And if art is the way that allows us to come together, because we really don't have a focus group that I know of for cancer survivors there in St. Croix. Yvonne Ashley Gallagher, the Breast Cancer Foundation, was doing an excellent job at bringing people together with breast cancer, but this is beyond breast cancer. This is open to people there in our community who have been diagnosed with cancer, especially the men. Please come out, because John Jones will tell you, as a prostate cancer survivor, that you can work your way through this. And so, like you said earlier, men are very skeptical about getting these exams, but prostate cancer, the numbers are increasing there, particularly with African American men, and especially there in St. Croix. And one of the things I wanted to mention, which is very important, I'm in Washington now. I'm going to be going to the National Breast Cancer Coalition Summit, which has been held every year for the past, since at least 20 years. But we lobby, we actually go to our congressional representative's office. And last year, there were 4 of us who attended the conference. And we did go to Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett's office. She's very much aware of the agenda and the mission for the National Breast Cancer Coalition, that having a cancer registry is very important, because when you're writing grants, it's important that you have the data. And for so long, we did not have the data. And I'm so thankful that they have finally gotten it up and off the ground. But our project has submitted grant applications to NIH 5 years in a row, and we were turned down. The first year is because of the data. We did not have the significant data, but I want the community to know that the National Breast Cancer Coalition, one of the things that we lobby about is to make sure that Congress appropriates the monies for breast cancer research specifically. And I would tell you that this organization is responsible for Congress passing a bill that appropriates, like last year, was $150 million. And it's a non-competitive grant. It's open to anyone, it's just not limited to the U.S. But I'm encouraging our legislative representatives and our congresswomen and all of our community members to understand that we have an opportunity to apply to the Department of Defense specifically to do research on breast cancer. But the fact is that we have got to put together a team of professionals and experts, of people who understand what it takes to put together or write a grant. And we are uniquely different in St. Croix and St. Thomas and St. John, but collectively, I think we can we can make that happen. And so put that on your agenda. When you get ready to vote for the senators, we need to make sure that they are aware of the opportunities that exist. The money does not come out of our budget, the Virgin Islands. This comes out of the budget that's allocated through Congress to the Department of Defense. And people will say, well, why do they give the money to the Department of Defense? Well, they have one of the largest population of people who work for them, people in the military. And some of you who are in the military now, you may not even know about this, but there has been an increase of breast cancer among women who serve in the military. But it's important to stay abreast of what's happening when it comes to research, medication. Our medications are driving up the cost of monies that are allocated to our territory. I can tell you from my own experience in the 3 years that I have been in treatment, my medication alone has come up to $900,000 in just 3 years. So can you imagine if you have 10 people there in St. Croix on cancer medication? I mean, we are now, I know the President Biden is really trying to get the pharmaceutical companies to come down on their prices, but it's all about public policy and priorities. And we do know that the cost of medication, it puts a dent in our budget. And when the Department of Health hosted the first cancer summit at Carambola this past year, we learned a lot from Gary. He gave the financial report in reference to the Medicaid program, that's MAP, and the funds can quickly be depleted when you're treating or paying for out of the budget for cancer medications. So I'm going to stop talking. Maybe your listening audience, or maybe you have a few questions you'd like to ask me, but I'm open.
All right. Well, I didn't interrupt you because you have a lot to say, and we want to hear everything that you had to say. You have the schedule of events. If you could just share that with me, I would repost it, on Facebook and stuff like that,
Right.
because people need to know. And there's so many things competing for folks' attention that all the help you can get in terms of making sure that our community is aware, not just those who are going to participate, but everyone, because cancer touches everyone. So lately,
true.
I've been feeling like cancer has becoming less and less talked about in our community, and then you got other things competing like Alzheimer's and so forth and so on, and then just putting food on the table and keeping from getting from falling into one of these potholes. There's all these different discussions going on, and
That's
I have this nostalgic yearn for the day that we have a breast cancer march like the one where it looked like it was bigger than any juve that they had on St. Croix ever. And I just yearn for seeing that type of community activity in terms of drumming up awareness. I have to say that I was watching one of the ads on TV from Department of Health, and I have to commend them on some of the things that they're doing in that regards, not necessarily for cancer, but things that relate to cancer, as in nutrition, the things that we eat, and the things that we eat, and the lack of moderation sometimes. And now that we have a chief sluxer, I don't know that maybe people are not getting the right the right impression about moderation. Yeah. So I'm just saying that for those who here in the various organizations here, things that can keep the fight against cancer, the need for doing mammograms, the need for prostate checking. I just feel like we need more conversation in the media about these things. All right. If I turn on the TV right now, I'm going to hear about this certain court case that's going on in New York. Okay. And I'm going to hear about the other court cases, and I'm going to hear about the protests, and I'm going to hear about who's getting arrested and all this other stuff. And I'm saying it's like we're being bombarded with these other things to the exclusion of these day-to-day life and death, bread and butter issues that impact us. So I look forward to more conversation in the media locally about cancer and in many ways in which it impacts people here on St. Croix. It's more to cancer because there's a lot we don't see and hear that we need to be aware of in terms of teaching our children how to care for themselves into the future, as well as how to detect things that just aren't normal, and we need to deal with it as not normal. Okay?
Right. But one of the things that our community may not be aware of, and they may have heard about it when they listened to President Biden give his State of the Union address. He's relaunched the Cancer Moonshot Initiative, and his wife is spearheading that. And the president comes, and his wife, they certainly come to St. Croix for their Christmas vacation. And I would like to let the community know that it is important for us to organize and launch the first Cancer Moonshot Initiative there in St. Croix. Because our president needs to know that we have an infrastructure in terms of our healthcare system that needs it's a priority. It needs his full undivided attention.
Right.
If
we got a call here on line 2, but I want to, before we take that caller, I just want to say that, it sounds to me like an opportunity there since they come here for vacation. Maybe next Christmas / festival, one of the things that could happen here is a little powwow meeting of the powers that be and those of interest when it comes to the moonshot and cancer and our cancer registry and those things. Okay, so let me open up line 2 here and see who's here. Good morning, WSTX.
Yes, no, good morning. How are you keeping?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yes, sir. You mentioned breast cancer, sir. But I believe and think that prostate cancer for us men are also important.
Yes.
And, my mind is racing now. Brother Doc, my mind is racing. We used to have what they call a men's man up coalition at the university.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been hearing much about it, but that will be a good phase. That will be a good phase to inject the prostate cancer, because it should be known from an early age. And I was reading up and stuff about it. I would like to even ask the visit. What's her name? I'm saying the visiting guest.
Miss Hampton. Diane Hampton. Yes.
Yeah, I've been reading up on some things about some new information that I got on prostate cancer, about the cells. But I wanted to really ask a physician who is an expert on this. I don't know if they will be able to help me.
Well, share the question first of all, because none of us here are medical experts, but share the question because it's important people know the
But
question.
It's really a men's question, you know?
Well, there's no such thing as a men's question because women lose their men to
Yeah, but but,
prostate cancer.
Yes, I'm going to share the question since you invited me. What I don't understand, and correct me, I'm still learning. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
Yeah. What I don't understand that in the prostate, let's say the sperm for men, those are types of cells. Am I correct?
Yes.
And these cells, just according to what the information that I gained, if left, a certain age, after that certain age, in other words, they have to always be rotated, like how you change your oil.
Right, but you see,
for a vehicle.
Right. No, I think I understand where you're going. And as I understand it, there's a process where the body can actually absorb back into the body, because the bottom line, the ejaculation process is one way in which you have these the sperm being taken outside of the body. But in the meantime, if that's not happening, there has to be some process. Either they're not being produced or they're being absorbed and reproduced, and whatever the process is. But as I said, I'm not the medical expert, so I don't know in that context. But that's
my medical friend.
No, but that's important. I want to know because it has to do with how the prostate works. And we need to
sorry to cut you off. You had the same concern too.
Yes, we need to know how it works. Well, sir, I'm gonna tell you, the prostate is something we have as men. We have to be thinking proactively about because in one way, shape, form, or another, we will be dealing with it. Some end up with issues of incontinence. Some end up with issues where they have to get a catheter. There are all different things short of having cancer and operation, all these things. So your questions are appreciated, and I'm sure that Diana appreciates them also.
Don't go yet. Don't get.
Hold on, Carla.
This our good friend. Yeah.
To
This our good friend here. This our good friend here on St. Croix. Doctor, could I suggest his name?
Dr. Graham?
Dr. Emmanuel Graham.
Yes.
Our good I call him our good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was about to say.
Who can further expound on this information?
I'm gonna invite him in.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but Carla.
Okay, my co-host has a question for you. Hold on a second. Go ahead.
Carla.
Yes, I'm here. I'm online. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I'm here.
To sum it all up, do your test once a year to keep on the right track.
That's fine. That's fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and
but I, since my mind was racing, I'm saying, well, since I haven't been hearing much about the Man Up Conference.
Right.
And this would have been a good venue to interject these programs.
Yes, I have my notes.
With all the men there.
I have my notes right here that I've been taking. I have some notes. So I'm taking everything you're saying. It's not going up into the air like moisture. I wrote it down so that we can follow up on it. Okay? No, serious business.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay.
I'm so glad. Yes.
All right, but yeah, we have Diane here with us, and as we're talking about, let's say, breast cancer and other cancers, and in particular, in the other cancers, let's say, prostate cancer, there's certain things that we have to learn. We have to learn what to be looking for, what symptoms that should tell us, hey, we need to go and have a medical evaluation and whatever the case would be. Okay? All right, I have a caller on line one, so I'm going to have to run here and take the other call. But I'm so glad that you called, and I took the notes.
And I always say, ounce of prevention is better than a cure.
Upon a cure, I think it's better than a ton of cure because I'd rather be up and around than in my hospital bed in pain. Okay? All right.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Amen.
Knowledge is power.
All right. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Okay, all right. Good.
So I got to share some knowledge now. I was told by my doctor to make sure I do that test once a year. Just like the women have to do their mammograms, we have to do that test.
Okay. Diane, you're hearing the discussion?
Yes, I'm glad the caller called in and talked about prostate cancer because the VI Breast Cancer Project, we are good friends with Oscar Williams, who was born there in St. Croix and a renowned filmmaker who made the movie Five on the Black Hand Side. Well, he passed from prostate cancer, and I'm so happy that we were able to get Kevin to interview Oscar, and he talked about his prostate cancer. You can go on YouTube, Google Oscar S. Williams, VI Breast Cancer Project, and listen to his story. And he encourages all the men out there and from wherever you are to make sure you get a prostate cancer checkup every year, and it does not hurt. It's not something that you should be afraid of or skeptical about doing, because it's going to save your life. And I did want to share with you the research that was done. Recently.
Okay. Well, we have another caller. We have another caller, and we still have some time to talk about that. So let me get the other caller in. Okay.
Okay.
Good morning, WSTX.
Hello?
Yes, WSTX.
Yes, Dougie, I don't want to use the term it is funny, but just yesterday, someone sent me some information on mammograms. And I think it's either the Cancer Society or some health organization is now, and I suspect for reasons known to them, are recommending that women start doing the mammograms now at an earlier age and continuing every year thereafter until their 75th birthday.
Well, I suspect that what is going to come out in the research is that we are being exposed to so many more carcinogenic chemicals and in our community, and it's one of those things where we got to start putting the 1 + 1 and the 2 + 2s together, and I think that for instance, when if you like your Cheerios and you start hearing about what they use for the fertilizer and the bug spray that they put on these things, and then the stuff in the box now got it in it too, I would suspect that would play a big role in that, in terms of we have to be even more vigilant.
No, that's true. And the other end, and I'm glad that Gerard mentioned it, because some doctors now are even suggested that the male patients test every 6 months.
Well, I gonna tell you, right? As Darby said, don't shake. That's how they don't check prostate. Well, enough man out there don't like the fact that that's how they don't check prostate. Okay? and I say that, folks, being serious and humorous at the same time. Okay?
Yeah.
There are two tests involved. One is a chemical test, and the other one is a digital test. And, the hypocrisy of these things, right? These men will send a girlfriend, wife, significant other to the doctor, knowing the things the doctor have to do as a matter of making sure all is well with them.
Yes. Yes.
And you don't hear a peep out of the men. But tell them that they got to go. And then me doing that, you know what?
But Dougie, listen to this. Even though the voice is the PSA, packaging and something, whatever it is, with the medical test or the chemical test, it is still the recommendation that there be a digital.
Yep. Okay.
The digital should test that it didn't become larger than a pea or a mushroom or whatever, and the medical, of course, or the chemical will show that there's no antigen or no cancer trace in there.
Right.
But at any rate, but let me just finish with this. It just came back to me quickly. 2 weeks or so ago, on a program on St. Thomas, there was a group that was talking about the rebuilding of the Charlotte Kimmelman Cancer
Center.
situation.
Yeah.
The building over there that was knocked down, whatever. And she was talking about this and check this and do this and going into mammograms and going into everything else. So then when she was finished, I called the show and asked, well, what about the cancer registry? And her words was that we walking on it. Shouldn't we? The car before the horse and the horse before the car.
Well, okay, you're talking about something that's dear to my heart, okay? And the people on the outside looking in ain't got no control or nothing. It's like being in the back seat of the car, okay? And the door them lock in the back. So it's like they're driving. You ain't know who checking oil, who checking fluids, who checking whatever. Don't know how close the brakes is to wearing out or anything. This cancer registry issue has been around for quite some time. And quite frankly, the Department of Health has not taken a proactive role in educating the public about it. And
But why not, though? Why not?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to go into no melee or nothing like that. But something isn't right in terms of funding, or lack of funding, how the monies are being spent, resources that are actually available. Because, brother, this from 2000. 24 years later, and you can't tell me that we have a functioning registry and how it works and how it has worked for us. Don't get me.
We like to walk on things. Let's walk.
Right. Well, let me.
Just say this quickly. The person in the show even pointed out, and there's a thing people like to say, frighten people, and it's not frightening. You're talking about what is. She talked about the folks in close proximity of St. Thomas, and I suspect it might be the same to the Anguilla Dam and St. Croix. The Bovoni Dam, they find, yes, there is records that show people within a certain area of that vicinity of that dump's fire with carcinogens in the air, and it's burning inferno of methane underneath burning for years, and it doesn't go out. That people have died and continue to die from it. Even the students, staff, and faculty in the border people shelter school, frightened or not, the thing to do is to go and get tests and keep testing yourself. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, thank you. All right. The thing here, I want to say that there are a lot of things that the Department of Health does well. I just think that when it comes to the cancer registry, that there is a lack of communication with the public. And coming out once a year to talk about these things, if it's done well and recorded, could be there and memorialized so other people can revisit it along the way. But I don't see that happening. I haven't heard that happening. And I'm saying that I believe that they can rise to the occasion, but something very different needs to be done. 24 years later, 24 years later, I was all into it. And all I kept saying was restart, 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 can't hear nothing, can't hear nothing. And the cancer registry is important. And Diane, I know you agree with me on that.
Oh, absolutely.
The key,
absolutely.
Yeah, the key that people need to understand is that when a diagnosis is made for cancer, okay, there's a tie between where that diagnosis took place and federal funds available to where that took place. So if you are diagnosed with cancer here in the Virgin Islands, it directly impacts resources coming to the Virgin Islands. If you are diagnosed in Florida or Atlanta, okay, we got a call online too. If you're diagnosed in those places, then they get the quote-unquote credit for diagnosis, and then the financial connection goes to them. I'm not saying to someone, don't go to Florida, don't go to Atlanta, don't go to Massachusetts. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the first thing you should do is make sure that you get checked out here, just as a matter of very often you have to plan and take time and everything. And with cancer, time is important. You don't want to put up. You go to your doctor, if they diagnose it and they report it to the Department of Health, the cancer registry. If you have to go off island for other services, that's fine, even if it's related to the cancer. The fact of the matter is that diagnosis, which can be done here, has a direct link to financial resources coming to the Virgin Islands to address issues with cancer here in the Virgin Islands. Okay, line 2. Good day, WSTX.
Yes, with prostate cancer, as you pointed out, if you have a job that exposes you to chemicals, or even if you don't have a job, if you're in an area where you're exposed to chemicals that you can breathe in, that, of course, seems to increase your risk in getting prostate cancer. But there's another risk that surprised me when I first saw it, but then when I thought about it, it kind of made sense. Jobs where you sit a lot. So they find police officers and detectives are high risk of getting prostate cancer. Airplane pilots and the deck crew, are high risk of getting prostate cancer. And bus drivers are at a high risk. So all of those things, I looked at them and I was like, because I saw like a top 10 list some years back. And those surprised me because they aren't necessarily around a lot of chemicals. But then when thinking about it, what they had in common was that they basically were jobs where you did a lot of sitting.
Yes. And the thing is, right, they do a lot of sitting, and there's simple solutions for these things sometimes. That means like having a desk that rises up so the person could stand up and work some of the time, and when they want to, they go lower the desk and sit down. It can make all the difference in the world. But then the issue is, who's going to pay for that desk?
But you can just get up every once in a while and move around a bit, So there are things you can do once you realize that this is an issue.
Right.
If you don't realize it's an issue, you are not going to think to do it. You're not going to make it a priority.
And then we have stereotypes like you are not at your desk sitting there doing my work. I'm saying there are these stereotypes that we have to break out of and look at the holistic part, because the fact of the matter is, from a business perspective, it's productivity you're looking for. And whether it's standing up or sitting down, there's the productivity. And if it means that a person is not going to be in a hospital, they're going to be here working for you, it's productivity. So you got to make your contribution.
Or homesick, calling in sick because they're not feeling
right.
That sort of thing. So
exactly.
And as you said, you can do things while standing up. And, and let's face it, I mean, it shouldn't be too hard for us to realize that humans were meant to be mobile.
Exactly.
Hours on end.
Exactly. One time.
If you think about it for a second, you're like, okay, yeah, I can see why that would lead to health problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had a personal experience with a sciatica nerve, and I had, I do a lot of video editing, and again, sitting down. So I had to learn how to work standing up because sitting down was part of the problem, So we live and we learn. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the call.
No problem.
All right. Take care. All right. Well,
now this is a conversation about prostate cancer.
Yes. Well, there needs to be more conversation. And the gentleman who was talking about the Man Up program that they have at UVI, I think it's an excellent opportunity to introduce things to our young men so that they can understand, part of the circle. And where they are now and things that they can do to make sure that when they get to where we are, let's say, that maybe they could have less issues to deal with because they had knowledge beforehand,
You see where you
I
start,
wanted to
Diane?
add that to our listening audience, if you didn't know this, Yale University did a study on breast cancer care in the U.S. territory lags behind care in the states. This is what I call this is very significant because it states here that the infrastructure, the quality of health care for women is still it's still inadequate, and that in the period preceding surgery, women in the territory had 24% lower odds of receiving diagnostic needle biopsies following breast conserving surgery. They were less likely to receive radiation therapy and that was noted by the researcher. These women also experienced significant delays in receiving timely care. For example, 1 month after diagnosis, 42% of the women in the U.S. territories had breast surgery compared to 63% of women in the continental United States. So for women in the territories who received breast cancer surgery, 41% also received radiation therapy compared to 77% of those in the continental U.S. Now, radiation you can't even get now in the territory because the center was damaged from Hurricane Maria. I don't believe it's up and running today. I just knowing from when I, just listening, but I will definitely research that. But that means if you have to have radiation, you have to leave the island. You've got to get on an airplane or a slow boat.
Diane, this is the conversation that I'm talking about. This is the conversation that we can't do this once a year, in the sense that it allows these things to get out of sight and out of mind. And I'm going to switch gears a little bit here. We have the issue of the refinery here on St. Croix. We have the issue of the landfills on both islands. And to this day, we don't have any type of initiative to implement air quality testing, okay, including, if necessary, make the industry pay for it, and when you talk in terms of the refinery. Because when you look at the astronomical healthcare costs that you bear, it's really a drop in the bucket to have them fund the air quality testing, or in the case of the landfills, the government fund the air quality testing. 50 years ago, we didn't know that there were particulates floating in the air from fire. Now we know. Now in places, in other countries, we're finding out that people are, as we just say, catching cancer. Healthy, jogging, athletic people up and down the place and turn up one day with stage 4 lung cancer because of particulates in the air in those high air, low air quality places where they have a lot of burning going on, smog, and so forth and so on. So when you hear people talking about rolling back these regulations, people got to understand there's a good side to regulation, and the negative side is overregulation. But when people use this thing of overregulation to say take away the regulation, it makes absolutely no sense, because if people see pictures of what California and New York used to look like 50 years ago, you understand what the transformation is in terms of clean air. Okay? As an aside, you probably remember hearing about Love Canal ages ago. Well, one night I was there watching PBS and I saw a documentary about Love Canal. Okay? And my mind ran on to Hess oil refinery, and we hear that the aquifers are contaminated and so forth and so on. Well, the reality is there's a lot going on that possibly we don't even know about, or we have to change the way we think. And coming full circle, since our time is running out here, to cancer, breast cancer, and I want you to just go over again what you're doing in terms of this program that you have coming up. We've got about two more minutes.
Okay. Well, we're hosting the Art of Healing for Cancer Survivors Retreat at the Featherleaf Inn. And by the way, all the food that will be served, 3 daily meals, is all plant-based, including our invitation that we're extending to friends and family for $80, and that's part of our fundraising initiative. And it will be a buffet dinner on Saturday evening at 6:30. And if you're listening, we are still welcoming contributions to support this initiative, because we would like to have some consistency in our art therapy program so that we can continue to have and offer art therapy to cancer survivors and patients at the Caribbean Museum Center of the Arts. And as well, we are hosting our pop-up art exhibit the end of August. We will announce the dates, and that's at the King Roots Gallery, where the participants will have a chance to display their artwork. And we are also having the silent art auction, pieces that will be contributed by our participating artists. So please feel free to call me at 340-227-3879. I look forward to hearing from your calls. And for those businesses out there and all the law firms and all the senators, all you have to do is, if you don't want to make a contribution of $1,000, contribute a $10 Hamilton bill. That's what I'm focused on now. If everyone contributed a Hamilton $10 bill by donating it to the St. Croix Foundation VI Breast Cancer Project, that will support our continuation of the art therapy. And the reason why I mentioned Hamilton is because Hamilton got his start by the businessmen downtown Christiansted, putting their money together and putting him on a slow boat to New York, where he eventually went off to college and became appointed by President George Washington to be the head of the Department of Treasury. Follow the money. So I'm just saying to our listening audience, I'm not asking you to be a long-term contributor, but if you have a $10 bill, you could go online and hit the donate button to the St. Croix Foundation VI Breast Cancer Project. And that will really allow us to have a great retreat. And as far as I'm concerned, the more we document the words that come out of the participants who are the cancer survivors, that's important. I always say, go to the horse's mouth. Get it from the horse's mouth, because we all have our own individual experience.
Who feels it? Yep. Okay. Well, I've got to run out of here before they call the marshals to come and carry me out.
Marshal down there.
And anyhow, I really appreciate the conversation, and I look forward to opportunities for us to continue the conversation, because, as I said, cancer is there doing its dirty work in the background. If we're not doing our cleanup work in the front, it'll get the best of us. So look forward to other opportunities to continue the conversation. Okay?
Thank you, Doug. I'll see you Saturday night at 6:30.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
And I did send you the invitation with the schedule. It's all included in the invitation.
Okay, fantastic. All right, look forward to it.
Hey, thank you.
All right.
Bye, Gerald. Thank you, Gerald.
All right.
Okay. All right, folks, you're listening to WSTX. It's that time. We got to run out of here. Please do your random act of kindness. If you're feeling kind of bored, do some premeditated acts of kindness, especially ones you would do for people you can't stand. Okay? Love's in need of love every day. Don't do like Jared and just do a random act.
Just
do a random act of kindness.
Just do a random act.
All right. Till next time.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.